Sajid Javid. This vigil is a sad, sobering, but an essential event. When members of the Pittsburgh Jewish community walked through the doors of their synagogue at 9:45 a.m. on Saturday morning, they had no reason to expect it to be anything other than a normal day. Several minutes later, a hate-filled man emerged from a dark room armed with an automatic weapon. Terrorism seeks to kill, to divide, to disrupt us, and disrupt our sense of security. This was a calculated and unrepentant attack. The police said over the radio, and I quote, "The suspect keeps telling us about killing Jews. He doesn't want any one of them to live." 11 people live no longer. Tonight and in the coming days, we should focus on them, who they were as a people, what impact they had on the world and the community they were part of, and what we need to do to protect others like them in the future. We often talk about the importance of learning from history, but increasingly, the present is echoing the worst of the past. This attack in 2018 was the deadliest attack on the American Jewish community in history. And we know anti-Semitism doesn't come out of a vacuum. People aren't born with conspiracies and prejudices in their minds. This tragedy comes after anti-Semitic incidents in the US increased by a shocking 60% last year. The Community Security Trust has noted an increase here in the UK too, and the same is of course true across much of Europe. I spoke with CST Director David Delu yesterday to check if there was anything that needed to be done. And I know that the police were in touch immediately as well. It was their operational assessment that this attack in itself did not change the nature of the threat picture here in the UK. And that is reassuring, and I'm here today to offer that same reassurance too. But we know that the official threat level for Jewish and Israeli targets is set at severe. That's the same level as the wider threat to the UK from international terrorism. It is deeply shocking to me that there is so much anxiety from a long-standing and valued community in the UK. We are listening. We hear your concerns. We are proud to support the CST in protecting Jewish schools and synagogues. As I said today in Parliament, we will also be open to looking at new ways of offering support. This, of course, is part of a wider work that we do to help keep the whole country safe. We will not be able to stop every evil, but I have faith in Britain's world-class security and law enforcement agencies, and I hope you do too. This virus of anti-Semitism doesn't recognise borders. An attack on one part of the Jewish community is an attack on all, just as an attack on any British community is an attack on the whole country and the values that we all stand for. That's why it's so important that the representatives of other faiths are here today as well. We will respond to prejudice with tolerance. The perpetrator of this attack hated the fact that the Jewish community was giving support, generous support, to refugees. That is the kind of act we will remember. That is what we will focus on. You may have heard of an old Jewish proverb: a little bit of light pushes away a lot of darkness. This weekend was witness to a little bit of darkness, but together we will respond with a lot of light.